Hey, welcome back to part 2 of the to-do list using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. In part 1, you already saw how to do the HTML code, and in today's, we'll be doing the CSS part. Okay, so just let's get started. So this is for clearing all the default margin, padding, and the other borders and all that. And as we already know, box sizing, border box, what happens is so that you can include the borders and the padding inside the width and the height. So that was the idea of doing it. So in our HTML, we had an ID of to-do app for the app. So we have to do the styling for that. The width, that's up to you. Out here, I'm just showing a width of 370px, margin left and right as auto. Yeah, so that's totally up to you. This is just to give the aesthetic to the app. Then you have a header. You need a header. That's up to you again. You don't have to give a header, just to give you an example. So the background could be any color that you choose. Here it's dark cyan. It could be anything else. And for the color of the font, white, and then width 100% and padding again 25px, 60px. That's totally your personal choice. And then you have to adjust accordingly. Then I'm giving a border radius of 10px, which sometimes I give, sometimes I don't. And border bottom of solid black color, 7px thickness. So here you go, just to give that shadow effect. So I have a header here. Now for the input field, also you need to style, right, so that it looks nice and clear. So here you have a margin top of 5px, height 100%, width also 100%, so that it looks nice and clear. Margin top of 2px, and here as you keep coding, you have to adjust here and there. So I'm just quoting what I've already done. Background white and color black, because that's the color that you'll be typing and typing in the input content, then the text, and font size 15px or 20px, up to your preference. Yeah. So okay, then I'm not giving it any border. You can always give it a border if you like. So that's again your personal choice. Then the new. So the ID of new we've given to the add button, if you remember, for adding new items. So background color black, font size 15px, similar, position absolute, yeah. And some people prefer to do relative, but here it's easier if you do the absolute one, so that it doesn't move too much when the other elements move. Then you have the margin top of 2px, margin left of 10px. And this you're doing it to adjust the positioning. Width of 40px and height of 40px. You'll see how it's done once I show you. There you go. Yeah. So this part is taken care of. It looks nice. Then you have, so the plus button was the button to add new items, as we have seen. Then we had given wrapper ID also for the list items, if you remember. So wrapper with again 370px, that of the app. Border left, we are just giving it gray color border, left and right, very small borders. Then border top of 7px, solid black. You will see how it looks like. There you go. It's not yet done. Okay, sorry, because wrapper is div ID of wrapper, so you have to use the hashtag symbol. Yeah. So now, if you use the hash, yeah, now you can see the borders left and right. Okay. What else is left? Then the list element. You have to give it style too. As usual, the width better looks better with 100%. Give it a minimum height of 90px or 100px, whatever. Also give it some borders so that it looks nice. Bottom border. Then the color is the color of the text that you're going to fill. That should be black, obviously, because the background is white. Padding is 7px, 16px, the same padding that we used above. Text align center, obviously. Yeah, and then a bit of margin top also to adjust. So let's see how it looks like. There you go. Yeah. So you have styled the list item element. Then there was a class of add, if you remember, for adding in the new items in the list. So that is dot add. But before that, the UL element also needs just one styling, that is list style type. If you remember the property of list style type, we give that property a value of none in order to remove the bullets. There you go. All the bullets gone, vanished. Okay, then the class of add you need to style again. So here the height, we give it a height, little bit of height of 45px, float right y, so that the buttons will all move to the right. There you go. From the left it moves to the right hand side, background none. Then there was this ID of ready, if you remember here. There you go. So I've just shown you where it is. So you have to style that again. So the text decoration line through. So that means when you do the line through there, here. So that means if an item is completed, it will be struck off, striking off. So that's a line through value for the property of text decoration. Then you have the buttons, as we all know. There are several buttons here, right? So this button, we give it a height of 34px and a width of 34. Cursor pointer, obviously the button always is cursor pointer, then background white, font size 20px, that is the size of the button is 20px. Yeah, and we give it some margin left and right in order to adjust the spacing. That you have to, don't just copy like that. Yeah, here you go. So now we have it all aligned nicely. Then in the button again, there was a class of dot button. You can see it in the HTML here. So here you have to you do the float right again, so that it moves from extreme left towards the right side. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Now it's moved to the right side. So that was the idea of float right, giving a value of right to the float. Using the float property was that idea. Okay, then for the button, there is, sorry, it's spelled wrong here, but I've corrected it in the code editor. So for button with the class of far, that is for the font awesome icons, if you remember, width 20px, height 20px, and margin left, border none, background none. So yeah, there you go. So you have the icons all settled nicely, looking nice and shapely, and nice and big as well. Then in the buttons, like you have a class of complete and a class of remove. Complete is for the completed items to be checked out, and remove is for deleting the items that you want to delete. So again, for these buttons, we use the same height and width that we used earlier, background none, and border also none. And then you see how it looks like. There you go. Okay, so is there anything? I just changed from cyan to red. You could have red or blue. One of my other favorite color is blue, so I decided to go with blue. Haha. Yes, it looks nice, I think, but that's up to you again. If it's too shocking for you, you can change it to some other color. I just changed it to sky blue. I think sky blue looks better with the red buttons. Yeah, so I think it's nice. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button before you go. Okay, and like and share it as well.